Alright, this is a Spectrum 8. It's an 8th grade math book, and it has a little bit of everything in it for math for an 8th grader. And what I'm going to take out of here is the system of equations. And I'm going to take a couple out of here and work them out for you. Alright, so stay tuned, pay attention, take notes, and we're about to solve one problem that is pretty simple, and the other one gave a lot of people problems in this particular book. Alright, so stay tuned and take notes, and let's get moving. Alright, we have another system of equations. This particular one, we're going to be using the method of elimination. It's pretty much set up so we can actually do some eliminations vertically as well. If you notice, you have a -4 here and a +4. Well, those two can cancel each other out, so you might as well just get rid of those at the very beginning. Then it makes your problem a whole lot easier, or shall I say your challenge a whole lot easier. Okay, then right here we have a -2 and we have a +8, which you know that's going to be 6, a +6y. Then we have the equal sign. And then we have a -24 and a -12. Those two signs are the same. So if the two signs are the same, we have to add, but we're keeping the negative sign there, but we have to add these two numbers, and we should get 36. And if you do your math correctly, we have a 6 here, a 6 there, and actually y is going to be equal to -6. Now, in order to figure out what x is, we're just going to rewrite either one of these two equations, and then wherever we see a y, we're going to go ahead and put in a -6. So let's do the bottom equation here. Let's just go 4x plus 8, and then we'll put open parentheses for the y, and then equals -24. Okay, so since we said that that y was -6, we're going to go ahead and put the -6 here where the y was supposed to be. And so we're going to go ahead and rewrite the problem as 4x, and then 8 times -6 is -48. So I'm going to go ahead and put -48 here, then bring the equal sign down, and then the -24. What are our like terms? Our like terms would be, yes, your -48 and your -24. And in this equation, you know, we always move the problem right here that's attached to something over to the like term that's all by itself. We never move the one that's all by itself here next to the equal sign. So let's move the -48 and change it to +48. Then we move it on this side and make that +48. And since these two signs are different, we know we're going to subtract. That's why I put the higher number on the top, because I knew I was going to be subtracting. And so we have a 4 here. We have 24. The larger number is positive, so it's going to be a +24. Cross this out. And what do we have left? We haven't crossed out. Well, we have the equal sign here. We're going to bring that down. And we also have the 4x. Go ahead and bring that down as well. And so now we have a division problem. 4 times something is 24, which is very simply 6. And we'll go through our steps here. Yes. So, yes, it is 6. Okay, so it looks like we have x equals 6 and y equals -6. And so, as you know, the way we write that out, the correct way to write that out is 6 and then -6. We always know the first number is going to be x. That's going to be your horizontal line, and when we start graphing, and a -6 will be your vertical line. Alright, give yourself a round of applause. Great job.
We love you, Thabiti! We love you, brother Thabiti! You're the greatest!
Alright, this next system of equation I'm going to be doing, it gave my students, a few of my students, some problems, and actually some teachers actually called me on this one. It really wasn't too much of a difficult problem. It's just it involved a lot of work, and so we're going to go ahead and go through the work on this particular problem. Now, you can't just do a easy vertical elimination on, you can see just looking at this, and so we're going to actually have to take one of these two equations and eliminate either the x or the y, so that we can isolate one of those two so we can get to our final answer. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take the top problem here. We'll just start with that one, and we'll eliminate, say, eliminate the y here, and so we'll go negative 2x minus 9y plus 9y equals negative 25 plus 9y. Now let's go ahead and get rid of our y's here. These two y's will go. That means there'll be negative 2x equals negative 25 plus 9y. Okay, and so in this particular problem here, in order to isolate this x, we want to divide by whatever number's next to the variable here, and that's a negative 2. So we're going to go ahead and divide. Whenever we're dividing negatives like this, we're going to divide on both sides here. And when that happens, this right here is going to cancel out. The 2's are going to cancel out right here. And so this will be x. However, since these are negatives, everything that's inside here is going to change to the opposite of whatever it is. And so this is going to be 25 over 2, and this is going to be plus 9y over 2. And actually this right here is going to be we'll write it the opposite direction. So I'm going to rewrite this as x equals, and then this is instead of positive 9, it's going to be negative 9y, and it's going to be plus 25. So we did, and this is going to, each one of these are going to be divided by 2. And so all we've done is we just changed this to the opposite of everything it is. Okay. Okay. And the next stage is we're going to go ahead and, since we know what x is, we have to rewrite one of these two problems, and we have to put this solution inside to be able to solve our problem. So what we're going to do is go ahead and start off with, we'll just go ahead and take, because we already did the 2 here, we'll take this bottom equation here and rewrite it. We have negative 4, and then as we said x was this here, we're going to go ahead and put that inside there. So we have negative 9y divided by 2, and then we have plus 25 divided by 2. And then we rewrite the rest of the problem since we know what x is. Now we have minus 9y equals negative 23. And see, all we've done is rewrite this problem, and wherever we saw x, we put this in there. Now don't be confused because you see these fractions. I think sometimes people see fractions, they start getting scared. The thing is this just involves you to remember your multiplying rules when we're just multiplying. And so that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and multiply through distributive property this fraction, and then we're going to do the same thing with negative 4 for that fraction. Remember, for this 4, in order to make it a fraction, we've got to put a 1 underneath, right? Negative 4 times 1. Alright, so we have to write this as a fraction, 4 over 1, and we're going to multiply that by negative 9 over 2. And first thing to see if we can cross cancel, which we can do. 2 goes in here 1 time, 2 goes in there negative 2 times. Now we have a negative 2 times a negative 9. Whenever you multiply the same numbers, it's automatically going to be positive, right? So we have a positive 18y, right? So that's going to replace this right here. Don't need that anymore. Now same thing with this. We're going to do the same thing with the other number. The negative 4 is going to be multiplied by 25 over 2. Same thing. What can we cross cancel? Yes, 2 goes in here 1 time, 2 goes in there negative 2 times. And if we do our math correctly, we're going to get negative 2 times 25 is going to be negative 50. And so what we're going to have here is we're going to have 18y minus 50. And we just write the rest of this problem down here, which is going to be negative 9y equals negative 23. So this is where we are now. I'm going to continue it down here. Don't want to confuse you now. So we have the keep our problem moving. So when we look here, we have like terms here. We have like terms of the 18y and the 9y. And if those signs are different, we must, yes, you must subtract. So we should get 9y minus 50 equals negative 23. Now we have to ask ourselves, what are our like terms? Once again, you have negative 50 and negative 23. Which one do we move? We move the 50, make it positive 50. Move it on this side, make that positive 50. These two signs are different. When we subtract, we should get 27 if you did it correctly. Equal sign, bring that down. Bring the 9y down. And y is going to be equal to, yes, 3. Now, that gives us part of our problem, right? Well, we're home free because we know what y is. Y is 3. So that means we're just going to rewrite one of these two problems right here, and then we're going to solve our problem. So we're going to go ahead and, so what I'll do is I'll rewrite the 2. Let's see here, negative 2 x minus 9, and in parentheses I'm going to go ahead and put my 3 here. And then equals negative 25. And this is going to tell us what x is. Okay, so negative 2x minus 27 equals negative 25. Then what are our like terms? Yes, negative 27 and negative 25. Make this positive 27. Move it on this side, positive 27. These two signs are different. We have to subtract. That's a positive 2 equals, so we have negative 2x. If you do your math correctly, x is equal to negative 1. And so I have x is negative 1, and I have y is equal to 3. So if you got both of those, give yourselves a round of applause. Good job.
We love you, Thabiti! We love you, brother Thabiti! You're the greatest!